to the City of Little Rock Board of Directors special call meeting for January 13th, 2026. Madam Clerk, if you would, please call the roll.
Director Miller. Director Richardson. Director Webb. Director Peck. Director Hines.
Present.
Director Lewis.
Here.
Director Compuris. Director Phillips.
Present.
Director Adcock.
Present.
Vice Mayor Wyrick. Mayor Scott.
Present. We'll now have an invocation from Director Hines. If you don't mind.
No worries. Please bow your heads. Dear Lord, thank you for letting us be here today to take care of the business of the people of Little Rock, of all that live and work here. Please watch out for our first responders, our public works staff, and anybody that is out working on behalf of our citizens. Please watch over us as we make decisions today and let us seek your guidance. In your son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. May you please stand for a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, if you would, please read the consent agenda.
A resolution to identify the sitting commissioners of the Little Rock Housing Authority doing business as the Metropolitan Housing Alliance and for other purposes. A resolution authorizes the settlement of an appeal to the Civil Service Commission as to Michael Wilbanks and for other purposes. A resolution authorizes the city manager to enter into a memorandum of understanding with Persang Management and Development LLC doing business as Newfound in the city of Little Rock, Arkansas to proceed with the development phase of the renovation of the River Market Center and for other purposes. That concludes the consent agenda.
There's a motion and a second from Director Adcock. Director Adcock, you had a question?
Yes, would you please explain item number 1, please?
Yes, to appropriately close on the loan before the MHA that they have to essentially bail them out with Enterprise Holdings as well as Southern Bank Corp. They have to properly identify the current MHA commissioners as they get ready to close the loan documents.
Okay. Does it show that we have one empty seat?
It'll show those who, yes, well, it won't say their names. It'll only say the people who are actively.
Okay.
Commissioner Buchanan is still active because under the state law, she serves until her successor takes office.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, so it will show that there is complete.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Director Pierce, did you have something? But let's take a vote first. Yeah. Press it again 1 second for me, Director Bill. I'm sorry. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Director Compuris.
Thank you. There are a number of people in this room that I want to thank, starting with Antoine and the mayor and Virgil and then Gina and the group that has been looking at how to redo the river market. When we did it 20 plus years ago, it was a $4.3 million project, $500,000 from the city and the rest privately raised. Times have changed, and we have a great partner with Will Smith and his company, and I'd like to have the opportunity for him to come forward and talk about what he wants to do.
Sure, you'll bring Will, but also Gina, if you'll kind of set the stage for Will.
Sure.
Probably should have told you that before earlier.
That's all right.
But you're game.
I didn't know I was coming over here until about an hour ago. No, so as you know, the LRCVB has been working closely with Director Compuras, the mayor, Director Phillips, and Director Miller, all on looking at what's the next step in the future of the Ottenheimer Hall and the pavilions. We've been working as the LRCVB soon after we completed our tourism master plan in January of 2023. The River Market Ottenheimer Hall was top on the list of items that just needed a refresh. So we started at that time working with JLL on a national level, bringing in, looking at different organizations that might be interested in taking over the Ottenheimer Hall, as well as putting some finances along with our finances and the city's finances to make the plan work. We brought in probably nearly a dozen different organizations over that 2-year process. And then we worked with Nick in the city to put out an RFQ last year. With that RFQ, then New and Found was selected as the awarded bidder. And they were our, little did we know, they were just right up the interstate, about 4 hours away, this close to us. And I look forward to letting you hear more from Will specifically and see some of the initial drawings of the project. So Will?
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to provide a little bit of context on New and Found. We like to say New and Found is sees the potential in the world, or realizes the potential of the world in the overlooked and sometimes underestimated. And we have a history of that in St. Louis, a 20-year history of developing in St. Louis, primarily adaptive reuse historic structures. And about 10 years ago, we embarked on what we didn't realize at the time would be a decades-long journey of redeveloping a foundry plant in St. Louis University in the heart of our city, from what was 100 years of foundry to a retail entertainment destination anchored by a food hall, which today sees about 2.2 million visitors a year. It's just been ranked as the top 6 destination in St. Louis behind, the big ones like the Arch and the Zoo. And so with that background, we have started to look at opportunities in other cities where we can have a similar type of impact. And I think there's this bringing together of our expertise as a developer with design and construction, the ability to both deliver a project and manage the project. But at the core of these type of projects is the local food scene. And so our intent is to have all local Little Rock entrepreneurs and providing them a platform to grow their businesses and to provide for their families in the Ottenheimer River Market. And so with that context, if we can, I would like to show some. It didn't come through. Okay, it didn't come through. So I'm not sure if there's an opportunity at another point if I can try to send that. But it would be a complete, if I can verbally describe it for you, it would be a complete remake of the River Market as it's known today. The 2 pavilions outside would be brought into conditioned space for year-round use and activation. The western pavilion would be a part of the food hall space, along with the traditional core of the River Market, with 15 food kitchens and 15 operators. There would be several different bar operations throughout the facility. And on the eastern pavilion would be a multi-purpose event and seating space that we would be partnering with the Convention Center and the AMP Commission to as an amenity for conventions and events in town, as well as a bookable venue for weddings and parties and private events throughout the year.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
thank you again. I want to echo Director Compiris. Just there's been a lot of hands and all hands on deck from a team effort standpoint. Director Phillips has been integral. Director Compiris has been integral. Director Miller has been integral. But also leadership of Gina and her team and LRCV commissioners. This truly is a team effort. Director Phillips and I, we can attest. We know, as well as Director Compiris and many members of the board, but just thinking back, we grew up where there wasn't a river market, then all of a sudden there was a river market, and to now see the ability to transform something that happened 20 years ago is a sight to see, and we're glad we have a partner in you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Director Phillips?
Yes, Mayor, 2 quick things, 3. Thanks, Will. Thank you for your partnership and trust and vision for our city to move forward. Secondly, want to thank my colleagues for voting in favor of this. And third, to the residents of Little Rock, I want to say a lot of times we celebrate the ribbon cuttings and when the doors are open, but sometimes I think it's important to recognize when the ball gets rolling to get us in that direction. And I think today, with this resolution, when we look back at downtown 5-7 years from now, it started on this day with our partnership with New and Found to really transform what downtown is into what it can be. So I'm excited about today, excited about the partnership, and look forward to working with you and your team and making Little Rock what everyone wants Little Rock to be. So thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. High. Mr. Will.
Thank you.
All right, we'll now,
Need a motion to adjourn.
a motion to adjourn. There's a motion second. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned. We'll now go into the agenda meeting. Members of the board, we have the modifications as well as the consent agenda. Any questions? Director Miller, then Director Lewis.
Thank you, Mayor. Someone please explain to me, because I've forgotten. This relates to Resolution 1, 2, and 3. What's the Arkansas Tax Back Program? In as few words as you can.
The tax incentives for businesses who choose to locate and or increase jobs here in the city of Little Rock.
So, I mean, I'm sure these three aren't the only ones that do that type work, so.
They have to apply for these tax incentives, and particularly whether it be AEDC, Little Rock Chamber, and or the city work with them and relates to how we recruit and or expand their existing operations.
Okay, thank you. And then on resolution number 6 that deals with DePaul, USA, this has nothing to do with the micro village, right? This is just the property on Springer that
Yes.
we're talking about?
Completely separate. We'll continue even when the micro home village is complete later this summer. We will continue to have our long-standing contract with DePaul USA and Jericho Way, and also just from greater detail, DePaul USA will also right now they are will be the operating partner for micro home village.
Okay.
But these are two separate deals, whereas the micro home village will be a home village overnight stay, whereas the Jericho Way is a day resource center.
Okay, thank you. And then on resolution number 7, as it relates to the mobile grocery store, exactly, I mean, do we know when this is going to be up and running?
Yes.
And when we'll get a chance to talk about the specifics about where it'll go, what locations, that type thing?
We can get you, to date, we can get you a status update in regards to where it will go. I toured it, I guess, at the end of last year, and I know Chief Hubbard and Christopher Harvey met with Mr. Barrett Allen, and I'm sure Director Webb can add anything that I'm about to say. But long story short, we expect that it will be up and running by on or before March. From that standpoint, and it will be, in my understanding, wards 1, 2, 6, and 7, where the routes will be for the mobile grocery store. And it's here. It's University of Asher, the University of UA Little Rock Center, where the big lots and all that is, those regions. So it's there actually on the lot.
Yeah. I've toured it, but I certainly wasn't going to put it on my Facebook. Because we hadn't talked about it, so I didn't take any pictures of it inside or out. So I appreciate that. But the routes have not been.
But we do want you to put it on Facebook at the appropriate time. That's a great.
Yeah, that's why I didn't.
Director Miller, it's a great marketing strategy for the city, and we want to make certain that you do that.
Yeah, but I didn't want to get ahead of this because I have toured it.
Yes, sir.
And I think I had gotten there one day where Director Webb had just left. So it looks great. I feel good about it. Now, the locations for the routes, that hadn't been finalized, has it?
No, but we generally know where they are, but we'll get you a email on those routes. And unless Director Webb wants to speak to
Because
that.
I certainly have some ideas, so,
We'll make certain that if you have ideas, it's fluid, we'll be able to add to it.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you, that's all I had on the consent.
All right, Director Webb, I think if you want to add anything.
Those things are Barrett's calls, but I think they've got a good idea of how many routes they're going to be able to run, the cost per route, cost per stop, a lot of that stuff. He's working very aggressively to make it happen in the first quarter. The Food Commission has been meeting with him regularly, as well as others in the city who are interested in helping support it.
Director Lewis.
I was asking about resolution number 4, if anyone could give details on, hey, I didn't see you, thank you.
Good evening, good afternoon, sorry. Yes, so resolution 4 is for the improvements at the intersection of John Barrow Road and Canis. That's a project from a few years ago, which was funded from the 2018 Sales Tax and Bond Program. It was placed on hold for a few reasons over the years, and we finished the design on that project, and we have a bid on that. So this resolution is to approve that.
Thank you.
Yes.
I wanted it more for public knowledge.
Sure. All right. Thank you.
Director Adcock.
Item number 8. This is for,
Otter Creek?
okay,
Okay.
for the soccer fields.
But
Yes.
one second, let Leland start off, sir. Just.
Good afternoon, Mayor, members of the board. I do have Sean Paul here, who I'm working with, who can come up and answer some questions, but Director Adcock, if you could start with your first one.
Yes, my question is, does this also contain the food and beverages on that, in this contract? You know, we've had problems before with the person that was running it, wanted to have all the funds and control over the beverages and the food.
Right.
And is this going to allow food trucks in there, or is this going to be just like it's been?
So the contract has not been fully written. This is just a approval to get to that point and process. So we can definitely take your concerns and build them into the contract. I don't know exactly, Sean and I have only talked about actual soccer programming and all the other challenges with maintenance, operation of the restroom, security, access, all those aspects of it, parking as well. But we'll definitely address the food truck vending aspect of it.
You said you've already discussed the restrooms?
We've started
Okay,
that
is this
discussion.
affordable? Are we going to build more restrooms or what?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't have all the details of the contract because we haven't finished it. That's the discussion that Sean and I are gonna have once we have approval for the, city manager to agree to this contract. And so, we'll take your concerns on the restrooms and porta potty. I know we need to add some more. We've only just started discussing it. What the process is so far is we put it out to the public, as you're aware. Well, first off, we changed the contract. We had a contract with United Soccer. We pulled them. They wanted to get out. Then we put it back out to open bid, and Arkansas Wolves was selected. And so now we're going through that process, and now we're asking for approval to have a contract generated.
Okay. The soccer fields in the past have been used mainly for Latino teams. Is this going to continue, or will the Latino teams be under this also?
So at that time, I'll let Sean come up and explain some of his programming. I know that he is working with the previous organization there, Mexarc, which you and I have discussed at length. So, Sean, would you like to come up and share?
Sean Paul. I've been meeting with Pepe, Rigo, and Professor over at Mexarc for the past maybe 6 years. We actually were going to try and get this done sometime around before COVID hit, and then we put it all on pause. We're launching a Wolves Academy there, and we're expanding the age groups for age 4 and up instead of just age 6 and up. Or really, they have age 7 and up in a recreational program. We're going to add competitive teams out there instead of those players getting poached to help other clubs look better. And also, we've partnered with Pepe regarding the adult league, as I'm sure you referred to. It's the largest one in Central Arkansas. And quite a bit of our professional and semi-pro players play in that league. And so a bunch of those players are actually also going to function as coaches and trainers in the youth league. So yes, there'll be Wolves programming there. However, we're also allowing Pepe to continue to run his program, but under the Wolves guidance for supports and better communication.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Any more questions, members of the board, from the consent and/or planning items? Director
I have one other one, Mayor.
All right, Director Adcock first.
Item 17.
Then Director Phillips after.
We had lots of the employees before us asking for a raise. And at that point, we said you'd have to look at it. Does this include a raise for that group?
This only includes what is in the rate study. For 2026, the rate study as prepared doesn't include salary increases in it. It's really increasing the cost for capital investment as well as related to the contract for waste management services.
Okay, thank you.
Director Phillips.
Yes, sir, Mayor. I had a question on number 13, but is Brad? Brad is here. Sorry, I missed you.
13 or 15? 13.
13. That's the grocery store, right?
Yes.
13. I just wanted to make sure I understood what happened from the minutes. I couldn't tell who the applicant was, but it seems like the applicant agreed that this grocery store will not sell alcohol.
Yes, the Mel Wyatt, she's been before this board a few times to do development. She's done development all around the city. We talked to her a lot, but 3 of the stipulations that she has stated with that's going to be in her grocery store is the exclusion of tobacco, exclusion of alcohol, and the exclusion of lottery tickets. So this is just going to be fresh food, fresh produce, sandwiches, things that you might see at a normal grocery store. So you're not going to go and get some gas and a pack of smokes and a 6-pack of beer.
And that's great, and I'm with it all. But are those conditions part of the PDC or not?
Those are a part of it, yes.
Okay, that's what I want to be clear on.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Brad.
Director Miller, then Director Webb.
Thank you, Mayor, and let me talk about ordinance number 13 and proposed ordinance number 13. And of course, I've talked to Brad about this. I called him, and I told him I was going to call him up here. Last Wednesday, I went to a meeting of the South End Neighborhood Group. I've been going to neighborhood meetings since 2021 in that area. I have never gone to a meeting where there was standing room only at the meeting. Everyone in there opposes this requested change in ordinance, and they oppose this grocery store. So let me ask you a few questions about this.
Sure.
Because I'm looking at the write-up. So in October 9th, there was a first planning commission hearing.
Right.
Dealing with this issue.
Yes, sir.
And there was an existing building on this property, so almost 2,000 square feet.
Yes. At that time, there was a 1,900 square foot building at the property.
Right. And the history says that this building was used in the past as a grocery store.
Yes, sir.
And it stopped functioning as a grocery store.
It stopped functioning as a grocery store, and
daycare.
Yeah, it went vacant and was certainly blighted. The developer wanted to come back and rehab the structure and bring that grocery store back to that particular structure, but after planning, and they deferred at that meeting that you're referring to because there was some site plan stuff that they decided to go back and then they incorporated the lot to the north. But in the interim, the building burned down.
Mysteriously burned down, quote unquote, is what the neighbor said. This building's been there for decades, right? Oh,
It's
you
been
don't
there for
know
a long
that,
time, yeah.
but it has been.
Yeah.
And so the first discussion about this in October, there was a building there.
Yes, sir.
And talked about rehabbing it back and making changes to it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the grocery store had already been gone, and it was a daycare or whatever before, and now it's sat vacant for decades.
Yes.
Between October 9th and by the time they came back in November, the building had burned down.
Yes.
So the building's burned down now, and the lot's completely cleaned off. Okay. And now we're talking about plans for building from the ground up.
Yes, sir.
Now, there were 5 people opposed to this at that hearing in November and 5 for it.
Yep.
When people sign up, do they put their addresses down? Or
Not. I don't know what the cards say. Do you guys know if you? I don't think the addresses are on there. I think it's what item you're for or against, or are you for or against it?
So if the neighborhood tells me that the 5 people that oppose, that support this application didn't live in the neighborhood, you'd have no way to know that.
I would have no way to know that, no, sir.
They said they don't live in the neighborhood. The 5 people that oppose it all live in the neighborhood. Now, when I went to the meeting, there were 4 pages of petitions signed by people who are supposedly would be the customers of this local grocery store. Mm-hmm. All up and down Marshall and Wolf Street, Battery, and they say they don't want it. So let me ask you, with this Miss Mel Wyatt, does she live in Little Rock?
Yes, sir. I do believe she does live in Little Rock. I know she does a lot of development here, so I would assume that she lives here.
Her address is Los Angeles, California, on the application. What? Yeah, I mean, I'm looking. I got the thing pulled up. I'm asking rhetorical questions. Questions I already know the answer.
Miss Wyatt and I are not close enough for me to know where she resides
the address
permanently.
is listed as Los Angeles. On the board write-up.
Right.
And so all this opposition to this grocery store that, by all accounts is defined as a food desert, the people that were at the meeting last Wednesday were saying, we don't want it on Marshall Street. We don't want this. This is a neighborhood. It's not on Roosevelt, which is a thoroughfare. It's not on MLK. It is in a residential area. Mm-hmm. And so do you know if Ms. Wyatt has gone out and talked to the neighbors who are so opposed to this? Why wouldn't they want a grocery store if it's one that's in food desert? And why would she want to build a grocery store when she has, I'm talking about school, opposition to this by everybody that lives by it?
I do not know I don't know why she still wants to do that with everyone against her. I think that her heart is set on this, and she believes that she is bringing value to the neighborhood. I think staff agrees with her. This is a food desert. USDA says that it is that. In 2023, staff did our own analysis to fill in those gaps, and we did prove out that is a food desert. If this were to be approved, that food desert designation would probably go away.
Do you know that right around the corner on Wolf Street, there's a place called Humphreys? That's a little mom and pop, little grocery store. You familiar with that?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. And of course, the people were saying when they want fresh fruits and vegetables, they just go up to K Hall. I've never seen so much opposition to something like this. And again, the 5 people who are speaking for it, they don't even live in the neighborhood. One of them has done work with Ms. White in the past, and speaking from a business professional relationship, I'm going to strongly encourage you to visit with her and have her go and talk to these neighbors, which include Dr. Minnie Hatchett, Ms. Ruby Jeffries, Coach Ed Johnson, people who've lived in that neighborhood for 50, 60 years, who say they don't want this thing. And so if she is as smart as what apparently she is, she's doing a lot of business with us, she needs to go and talk to these folks to try to come to some type of resolution about this.
Sure.
And if they don't want her, I was at the East End Little Rock neighborhood meeting last night. They said they would welcome her to come to East Village, East Little Rock. So I would think that, you know, she really needs to hit the reset button on this, because if she doesn't, and they can't come to some agreement with this, I'm going to be strongly opposed to this. And I'm going to ask my colleagues here on this board to vote with the neighborhood on this. And I'm sure she doesn't want to get this thing kicked back, depending on whatever that vote is, but at least try to work with the neighbors who were in this meeting last Wednesday, standing room only, saying how much they oppose this.
Right.
So that's my commentary about this. And I would really hope that she would take the neighbors into consideration, not because she wants to do something and she thinks it's a good job and she thinks it's good for the neighborhood. These are the people that's going to be shopping with her.
Right.
And they say they don't want it.
Right.
And so I don't know what type of marketing study she's done. Because if she had done one, it appears as though these folks say they don't want this thing on Marshall Street. Maybe some other main thoroughfare or something, but there was nothing but opposition for this. Again, I'm not fussing because I appreciate the work you've done. I know the vote at the Planning Commission. I know the staff has done hard work on this. That's why I called you.
Yes, sir.
And told you, you know, so you'd be prepared for what I was going to say about this and ask you about this. So anyway, that's all my comments on this, Mayor.
All right, Director Webb, then Director Hines. Oh, no,
Thank you, Mayor
Director-
Scott,
you are-
Brad. Number 15. And if you would make a presentation, and I also have a question, because on 15 on the agenda, it says the Planning Commission, 5 yes, 2 no's, 1 absent. So does that mean it failed and they are bumping it up?
So, yes, ma'am, I'm glad you asked that question because it is a bit confusing. So, in our bylaws, I'm just going to read from the bylaws. According to the Planning Commission's bylaws, actions requiring City Board of Directors approval, which receive a positive vote from the majority members present, but which fail to receive the required 6 commission votes, shall be forwarded to the Board of Directors with a recommendation of denial.
Because I think that it really is confusing.
Yes,
Because when I read the agenda, I assumed it passed, even though I knew from talking to the neighbors that it didn't. And when I read the notes that we have in our packet, where it talks about the Planning Commission action, there were 7 people registered in opposition, and they are, as you know, and as the board will remember on Tuesday when they come again, because this is the 3rd or 4th property we've had on this little stretch of Kavanaugh and the Heights, and so our neighbors will be here again next week about this. I'm not going to belabor the point tonight, but also on the zoning map, it has the wrong zoning map attached. And I think there are 1 or 2 other things that we might need to take a look at, but I'll talk to you about those online so we can get those corrected.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, Director Hines.
Yes, Mayor. Nothing for you.
Okay, thanks.
Since we have a budget item here, and I had the question answered this doesn't cover, but I'd just like to, since Director Hidden's here, get an update on where we are on ordering new police cars. What's the status on that? I know that was a budget item we discussed at the end, and then also find out from the mayor when we're gonna get the rest of them.
ASAP. As soon as you pass this, ASAP.
Since we got a budget amendment to pass, I figured I'd bring that up.
I appreciate it. I'm on record.
So what was your question again, Director Hines?
Just, during the budget discussion, when we passed the budget, you said I think you had funding for about 35 police cars, or do we have those on order? Or what's
We
the
do
status?
not have them on order yet. We're actually working through with the different vendors to see best pricing that we can get those at.
Okay.
But we do have, the police have some of the communication equipment ordered. We're working on quotes for the lighting and all that other stuff,
Okay.
so.
Are we still gonna stick with the hybrid models, or we're gonna change to just the?
We do not, no. The hybrids that we have are the 2020s and 2021s.
Mm-hmm.
The 2023s that we bought, those are all EcoBoost. Because we have there was a big recall problem with
Okay.
the hybrids.
I knew we had some issues with the hybrids.
Yeah, we're
so
not,
okay, I just wanna make sure.
we ain't going down that road again, not anyway soon.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Director Hinton. Thank you, Director Hines. Director Phillips?
Yes, sir, Mayor. A few things. Number one, there was an article, I think yesterday or a couple days ago, about the license plate readers that the police department has. I know when I proposed the ordinance at the end of the year, when Chief Helton spoke, he said he would be happy to come up here and give us some type of update on how they're using technology and what's happening if we're requesting it. I'm requesting it. So if you can get with him to see if we can get that scheduled during the first quarter for him to come give us an update on how they're using technology, as he mentioned at the end of last year. And then I have two clarification questions
And
for
Director Phillips, if just in his preparation, if there's anything particular you want him to address, or just holistically, just so we're.
Well, I would think holistically, but if I need to enumerate some things, I'm happy to.
No, we'll do holistically. I just
Okay.
wanted to be certain. I didn't know if you had a specific thing besides.
And if I can get Director Jordan to clarify a couple things for me on number 13 and number 15. And I'll start with number 15 because it's easier. So I just want to be clear with what my colleague Director Webb asked you. So on the write-up, it says staff recommends approval, but the bylaw you read said that it should have been denial. Am I understanding that correctly?
Our staff recommended approval originally. We bring to you the recommendation of denial from the Planning Commission.
That is confusing.
I agree with that.
It's denial because they didn't get 6 votes.
I understand that, but on the write-up, it says, I'm with you. I understand what you're saying, but
Right.
it's confusing. Okay, thank you. And then number 13, I want to get back to where Director Miller mentioned about the grocery store, because I want to make sure I understand context, and I can go back and watch the video.
Sure.
But it seems like a lot of the concerns that have been expressed seem to be connected to selling alcohol, tobacco, lottery tickets. I saw a write-up about crime and loitering, and those things don't usually happen when you're buying apples.
Right.
So for context, when people were opposed to this, was that before or after there was an agreement to limit what would be sold at this store?
She has always stated she's not going to sell those things from the beginning.
Okay, so that's been clear to the neighborhood?
From the beginning, yes.
Okay, absolutely. And they still had opposition even in light of that?
Yeah, they had 5 people there that night, and as Director Miller stated, I believe that number has grown.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted clarity on that. That's all I had, Mayor.
Director Miller?
Yes, and certainly, as it relates to this ordinance, you hadn't seen the petitions that had been signed.
I have not.
Okay, all that stuff was given to me.
Yeah.
And so I would expect there's going to be a big crowd here next Tuesday.
From our conversation, I would say so.
Yes, and so, again, is it usual for Ms. Wyatt, who has, by your own statements, been doing development in Little Rock for some time, to list her address as Los Angeles? Is
I would
there
have to, I would have to go back and look to see if that's the case.
Yeah.
That might be her permanent residence, and she may be
Because
going
if
back and
there's a
forth.
local address and a local phone number, I'd like to see it. But on the application itself and the write-up, the board write-up, she's listed as Los Angeles, California. And again, I can certainly get some clarification on the 5 people who said they supported it, but none of those 5 people live in the neighborhood. And a couple of those people just do work with her on all her projects. So yeah, they're for it because they can get some more work. But all the people who were against it live within a stone's throw of that proposed site. And then with the 40-something people that signed again, I just don't, there's something not connecting for me between this developer and the leadership of the neighborhood. So again, I just strongly encourage her to reach out to these people again. And it would be easy to do, and I can certainly help make that connection if I need to.
Yes, and we always encourage, from the beginning, we encourage applicants to talk to the neighbors. We think that that's the best course of action, especially if you're going to do anything like this and bring something new into the neighborhood.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, I have one other
Yes, sir.
thing. I've been getting a lot of phone calls about this proposed $9 billion data center. That's nothing to do with us. That's between Little Rock and Pine Bluff around 145th Street, or is there
It's right.
something that I'm missing?
No, it has nothing to do within the city of Little Rock. Clearly, it's located again between I-30 and 145th Street, so right outside of Wrightsville. So it's more of it's a county project than it is a city project.
Pulaski County?
Pulaski County. Yes, sir.
Okay. So when people
Direct-
call me, direct them to the county?
Yes. I mean, we don't never like to direct questions, but
okay.
yes, that's what you would do.
All right. Thank you. I just didn't know what type of relationship the city has with this.
I think it's also good to know, we often are aware of different things, but it would be the county. But we do have a economic development relationship with the Little Rock Chamber, and the Little Rock Chamber recruits and develops business for the entire region.
Right. I think you can fill that. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Right. Members of the board, any more questions?
One thing, Mayor. An agreement has been reached as to a refinancing project for the Marriott Hotel, and we just got the documents today. Mr. Wilburn was here today to address that, and I told him he didn't need to be because nobody had seen it, but we will be getting together an ordinance that would allow them to go forward with that dressing and try to put that on the agenda for next Tuesday, meaning we will get it out Friday.
Yes, sir. If anyone has any questions about that, just see myself or Director Phillips. Chief Hubbard, you got anything?
Yes, sir. If there was no other business, anybody had any questions on the professional services on the $50,000 report? Thank you.
All right. Thank you, members of the board. Meeting adjourned.